Exemptions from capital gains on transfer of long-term capital assets. Section 54 EC. Now, in this section, basically, the exemption is available to any assessee. Okay? And the exemption is available for capital gains arising from transfer of any long-term capital assets. So it need not be a residential house only. It could be a residential house as well. Of course, the conditions mentioned in section 54, which we discussed earlier, are also there, but those were only in the case of individual and HUF. Okay? If you don't fall under that section, even for the case of individual and HUF, you can seek exemption under this section. It could be for land and building, or it can be for any other capital asset. Right? So this exemption is available to any assessee, okay, provided what is transferred is a long-term capital asset. So you can't claim this exemption under section 54 EC for short-term capital asset. Right? So once you transfer a long-term capital asset, once you have capital gains, then in that case, these capital gains have to be used to purchase bonds issued by NHAI. NHAI stands for National Highway Authority of India, and RECL on or after 1/4/2007. So if either NHAI or RECL issues any bonds on or after this date, which are purchased by an assessee who has a long-term capital gain from transfer of any capital asset, then this exemption is available. But then the question comes in, how much is the quantum? I mean, is it, let's say for example, I made a capital gain of 1 crore, okay? Then is it that the entire amount will be exempt if I purchase bonds of NHAI and RECL? The answer is no. The exemption is available only to the extent of capital gains, which is 1 crore, or amount invested, whichever is less, subject to a maximum of 50 lakhs during a financial year. What this means is that if you invest 1 crore, okay, your capital gain is 1 crore, then obviously first and second both become 1 crore. The least of two is 1 crore, but you can't get an exemption for more than 50 lakh during a financial year. So what that means is, even if you invest 1 crore, the exemption is available only for 50 lakh. So 100 lakh was what your capital gains was, 50 lakh will be the exemption, and 50 lakh will be taxable as long-term capital gains, because the transfer is of a long-term capital asset. And what is the time limit for the purchase of new assets? It is within 6 months from the date of transfer. Now what also happens is that if let's say for example, let me just clear this off. Let's say for example you sold a long-term capital asset, you purchased these bonds for 50 lakh, okay, from NHAI or RECL, and you claim the capital gain exemption, CGE claimed. But then you transfer these bonds or convert them into money within 3 years, okay. Then in that case, the exempted capital gains, whatever is that amount, 50 lakh, 30 lakh, 20 lakh, that will be treated as long-term capital gain of the year of sale of new asset. Which means what? The year when you sell this, okay, the capital gain which was exempted earlier will be liable to tax in the year when you transfer it, and it shall be treated as long-term capital gain. It will not be treated as a short-term capital gain. Right? The other interesting thing is that even if you do not sell it, but you take a loan or an advance. So what happens is, this is a person, he made capital gain. He knew if I sell these bonds, I might have to pay capital gains. So let me do one thing. Instead of selling it and paying tax of 20%, let me go and take a loan against the security of these bonds. Okay, if you do that, in that case, the capital gain exemption which was provided to earlier again stands withdrawn. Okay, and the exempted capital gain will be treated as LTCG of the year when you take a loan or advance against that bond.